So rather than think about maybe those few people that might be making fun of me, I'm choosing to focus on the many women who are constantly supporting at me, looking at my content, looking at the brand and what we're doing, and knowing that, I'm making a difference in those women's lives. So I should keep going.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mac Parker. Today, I am joined by the CEO and founder of EmpowHer, Miss Caitlyn Kumi. Today, we're going to talk a lot about how Caitlyn was able to start her business, EmpowHer. Could you tell us about what the research process was like when you started EmpowHer?
Yeah, when I started, I just kind of had an idea. I was like, you know what? I'd done a fundraiser. I'd used waist beads to raise money, and I got a lot of interest. And even after that fundraiser, people were reaching out to me. They're like, "Hey, do you still have waist beads?" And I was like, "Hey, I am not a waist bead seller." But then I thought about it, and I was like, if there's so much interest around this product, it might be really good to maybe launch a brand around it. And then I just kind of thought about myself and my own personal journey, and waist beads were really, really instrumental in helping me love my body again after just really suffering from body insecurities for about 2 years after a bad relationship. And I was just like, if it had this feeling for me, like imagine what wearing waist beads, helping women come to love their bodies, what that would do for so many women, just because in my research from talking to friends, talking to random strangers that I would DM on Instagram, I realized so many women were struggling with body insecurities. So many women were struggling with confidence, whether that was being in class or applying for a position. They just didn't really feel like they were qualified or they were good enough, whether they were in a relationship that really made them question their worth, whether they were pretty enough, whether they were sexy enough. And I was like, when I start this brand, I don't want to just, have this amazing product. I want to do something more and really send that message to women like, you are sexy, you are confident, and you are empowered. And even if you're not feeling that way, I want to be a part of your journey. I want to help you get there. So that really, really sparked my interest in the customer discovery stage, talking to people, really understanding what are their challenges, what are they facing, and how can I help them.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, the one thing that I would say makes Miss Empowered different from a lot of other brands is just the mission and how strong that is and everything that you do. So definitely props to you for that one. um,
Appreciate it.
so when you started Miss Empowered, did you have any doubts in the beginning of that process?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone, especially when you launch a brand or you're just putting yourself out there. So whether you're like, I want to be a content creator on Instagram, I want to start my own business, you question is my brand, is what I'm doing going to resonate with people? Will people want to follow me? Will people want to purchase my product? And also from a business standpoint, as a leader standpoint, I wasn't a business major in college. I majored in media and journalism. So I questioned, do I have the business knowledge? Do I have the business acumen to make Miss Empower a success? I wasn't good at math growing up. Do I have what it takes to, build out a business model that's really sustainable to make sure Miss Empower is here for more than a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years down the line? So I really, really struggled with those doubts. But then I just had a meeting with myself and I said, I cannot lead a brand that encourages women to be confident, believe in themselves, if I'm not believing in myself. So when I started to have those thoughts of self-doubt, or is this going to work? I don't know what I'm doing. Am I qualified? Am I not growing fast enough? All those negative thoughts, negative self-talk, I realized I just had to cut it out, because dwelling on what couldn't work before it happens is not going to make me successful. And I think preying on my success, allowing myself to feel this feeling of self-doubt, and then also send myself positive message and really focus on what my mom says is my North Star, so my end goal, what I believe Miss Empower can be, has kind of helped me overcome those thoughts of self-doubt, and then realize that, yeah, there's probably going to be people that make fun of me for what I'm doing, and that's okay. They're going to be in their little corner over there. And I have tons of people, whether it's my close friends and family and complete strangers, that are really, really rooting for Miss Empower to win and rooting for Miss Empower to be successful. So rather than think about maybe those few people that might be making fun of me, I'm choosing to focus on the many women who are constantly supporting at me, looking at my content, looking at the brand and what we're doing, and knowing that, I'm making a difference in those women's lives. So I should keep going.
That's amazing. And I guess on the same note of having a support system, would you say that you have any mentors that you like ran your ideas by when you first started Miss Empower?
Yes, going to a school like UNC was a blessing because, with going to a school that has so many resources, I had like business accelerator programs. We had an entrepreneurship center, so I could talk to experienced professionals that were founders of businesses, had, marketing experiences at top companies. But also, like, for those who don't have those resources, a resource that was really impactful to me was just using LinkedIn, reaching out to people. Those people were really able to help me understand different aspects of the business and how I can be successful. And I've just really taken those lessons and applied them to my business. But definitely having the school's resources, I'm not going to sit here and say I did it all by myself, because I didn't. I had the financial support and mentorship of my school, which I'm really, really grateful for in college. But also, not beyond the school, I had LinkedIn and those nice people who responded to my messages and who were able to support me with the business knowledge, with the feedback I needed to continue to improve Miss Empower and make it a success.
Wow, that's awesome. And for those of you who don't know, Caitlyn is a networking queen and has shown that many, many times. So I know that when you began Miss Empower, you had a little bit of a different business model, and now you've kind of decided to pivot. So why did you make that decision? Why did you decide to pivot more to a community-based company?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. I think before, again, I realized when we started, we were really, really product centric. But as we kind of diversified what we were posting on social media, whether it was inspirational videos from women that I admired, women that my community admired, whether it was providing advice and feedback, whether it was doing IG lives, expanding into TikTok, and really giving content that would help women improve their lives, and then just seeing such an overwhelming positive response, I knew there was an opportunity to really help women and connect them with people that they look up to, connect them with people to answer their most challenging questions. Because the women that we really look to speak to connect with, they're in this self-discovery stage of life. I'm only 21. A lot of the women in our community are very young. They're either in college, maybe they recently graduated, or even sometimes a few years out, and they're really in the same stage. They're struggling to embrace their imperfections, learning to love their bodies, learning how to be confident, learning how to navigate the dating space as an empowered woman. It is not easy. Learning how to really do this thing we call adulting, learning how to, be confident in your skin. And I realized that we had an opportunity to really deliver content, whether it be on our new blog that we've really been pushing, whether it be on our Instagram, our TikTok, and now this YouTube channel. I think we have a real opportunity to really connect with women and connect them with other women in ways that we haven't been able to do in the past. And I'm really confident that we're going to see a positive response from our audience. And my goal is to really help women become the best versions of themselves. And quite frankly, I just didn't think I could only do that through waist beads. I thought that, there's an opportunity to do more, to really, really help women and to make a difference in their lives as they're going through this journey of self-discovery, self-love, and becoming the best versions of themselves.
And again, that's that Miss Empower mission that runs through everything that you do. And I love that so much. So I wanted to ask, how do you stay in touch with the interests of your audience?
That is a great question. I mean, as Miss Empower has been around, we've kind of garnered these loyal fans, these people who are always in our DMs letting us know, I love when you posted this. Thank you for always supporting. They're in the comments. They're, following us, they're doing our polls, and we really pay attention to those loyal fans, as well as just some of the everyday people that maybe might miss our posts and ask them, what could we be doing better? I think by constantly engaging with our audience, showing that we care, we're really, really able to continue improving our content and showing them things that they want to see. So sometimes they just want to see humor. Sometimes they want to be inspired when they're in their dark places. If they're struggling with anxiety, maybe they're struggling with depression, we want to deliver content that uplifts them and let them know like they will not be in this space forever. And here are some actionable steps that will help you get through whatever you're struggling with. But just I think the best way for us to connect with them is actually paying attention to those comments, paying attention to the DMs. I know when I first launched Miss EmpowHer, one of the things I really struggled with was getting size inclusivity in our models for our waist beads. So I was like, this is really important to my customers. It's important to me. I need to do more to try to find customers. I need to try more to find influencers who can really showcase our product so people know that, our waist beads can be worn by women of all shades and shapes. I think showing that we care and answering every DM and actually making changes in our social media content is really what's helped us maintain that relationship with our customers and our audience.
That's amazing. So next I wanted to ask you, how do you stay motivated, both in the early stages of the business as well as now as you continue to work with Miss EmpowHer?
I think how I stay motivated is being passionate about what I do. I'm not gonna lie, there are some days where I work on Miss EmpowHer for 12 hours, 14 hours, sometimes probably even like 16 hours. It's a lot. It's not like that every day, but I think I really think about, the Caitlyn from 3 years ago, the 4 years ago, being in my dark place. I was so insecure in my body. I was so anxious all the time. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I was all over the place. And I just wish I had a woman I could connect to. I wish I had content and people I could see that, were constantly giving me that like assurance that, everything is going to be okay. Whether it be like videos, whether it be through social media posts. And because I wasn't seeing that, because I wasn't getting that, I wanted to curate that for the women in my brand and the women in my community. So whether it be my internship program, my internship is majority women. I'm really, really passionate about helping those women get to that next step in life. So making sure that they're getting the career experiences that they need to get to their dream companies, because I had women who helped me and supported me. And I know not everyone gets that. And through my followers and through my audience, I know that I might not know every single one of them personally, but if hearing my story about overcoming my body insecurities helps inspire them to love their bodies more, I think like my day has been made, my passion has been delivered. So when I'm in those dark days and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, I think about the one in my audience or the one woman in my audience that is looking forward to my content every day, looking forward to seeing Miss EmpowHer grow, because it's what's keeping them going.
Very well said. So finally, before we conclude the interview, I wanted to ask, how do you overcome the fear of your business failing or just failure in general?
Having that mindset, failure is not an option. And I guess that's probably not the best way to put that. Sometimes I think it's okay to fail. It's a part of life. And some things you need to just quit because it's not meant to be. But for me, Miss EmpowHer failing is not an option, because I know I have a mission, and that's to empower women and to support women on this journey to becoming the best versions of themselves. And I know if I let Miss EmpowHer go, if I slip up, I slow down, I'm letting those women down, and I don't want to do that. So I think that's what keeps me from fearing that, Miss EmpowHer is going to fail or it's not going to work out. Thinking about those women who still need that support, because I think I was looking at statistics the other day. I think it's like 70 or 80% of women are self-conscious about their weight. 90% of women or 80% of women are afraid of like making mistakes. Those are some pretty high numbers and they need to go down. So I know that, it's still a big issue today. And I just want to make sure the next generation of women and the women coming up today, if I can just help in a little bit, in a small way, a big way to help them overcome these issues, I know that, Miss Empower is going to be okay and we're not going to fail because we're going to connect with those women if we just keep going.
Very inspiring. Thank you so much, Caitlyn, for taking the time to talk with us today. I'm sure a lot of people who are trying to start a business are feeling inspired after hearing everything that you told us. And yeah, thank you so much for watching the Miss Empower YouTube channel.
Thank you. Thank you, Mac. Appreciate it. Bye.